Welcome to the Rusted Garden Homestead. Today's 2-minute tip video is on refreshing your container soil. You don't need to throw it away. You can refresh it year after year. About every 2 years you need to refresh it. The reason you do that is because the organic matter in there usually gets used up, so your soil gets compressed. You want a loose container soil. Also, roots will get through there. Nutrition will be taken out of it, so you got to clear out the roots, freshen it up. I'm going to show you how to do that. If you want to subscribe to my 2-minute tips, I do videos that are about 2 to 4 minutes long, teach you something, hopefully get you back out into your garden. So today we're going to empty out the containers to my right there, the 3 right there, and then these flower boxes and some other stuff that I found. Basically, get a tarp, dump out enough material to start that you can get your arm in there and mix it up. And it's basically a 3-to-1 ratio. So like for instance, I will dump out those 3 pots right there, right into the center, and then I'll fill up a 4th pot with a combination of peat moss, that's leaf grow, that's compost from my garden. You could use just one of them, you could use a combination of all 3, you could throw in some coco coir, but basically, again, basically 3 times I said that now, that pot is going to hold organic matter that's going to hold water and loosen up the soil. Peat moss, no nutrition, holds water. Leaf grow, some micronutrients, holds water, loosens up the soil. Compost in the black bucket filled with nutrients. We're going to throw in a couple handfuls of granular fertilizer. Any one is perfectly fine, just get what is on sale. One of them is holly food, one of them is flower food. That one's a 453 NPK. I think the holly food's a 434. I'll show you how to do that. I like to work with about this much material because I can get my arm in there and really mix it through. I find your arm is the best. You could use a shovel. If you do, just watch you don't tear your tarp. So you can section this off, just make triangles. It's 1, 2, 3 triangles. And you're going to match leaf grow, peat moss, coco coir, compost to a 3-to-1 ratio. So basically you need this much to mix into there. If your soil, your container soil, doesn't look great, you can do 50% of the new stuff, 50% of your old stuff, mix it together. So I already threw a handful of the granular fertilizer. I'll put one more on there. I just do a light kind of feeding right now. If you want to subscribe, I will show you how I set up the containers when I'm putting the materials back into there. I fertilize them a little bit differently depending on what plants are going on. Went through this already, found a bunch of grubs that I took out. The birds will get those. The other stuff will go into the compost pile. And I sort of just eyeball it. You don't have to be exact. These materials, the compost certainly will add in NP and K and other stuff. Peat moss will hold water, will help loosen the soil. You could use coco coir if you want. Not a lot of nutritional value. And then the leaf grow has a lot of micronutrients in there, and that helps loosen it up. And I will put a couple more shovelfuls in there. Let me just get that set up. I'll show you how I mix it up. There's no need to spend money and buy new container soil every year. Save yourself some money. You can refresh it. We're doing a 25% ratio of new materials. You can go up to 50%. It's really up to you. Adding more is not going to hurt your plants or anything like that. And then I just get in and I mix this all the way through. And when you're done, this is what you end up with. You want to be able to squeeze this and it falls apart really easily when you shake it. And that's a really good base for container mixes to use in your pots, your flower boxes. If you want to add in perlite, you can do that. This is the minimum. It works really well. You don't have to spend more money and add new stuff in there. Has some fertilizer in there. Again, subscribe. I'll show you how I fill these containers. But real quick, for a container this size, I'd fill it halfway. Throw in a handful of the granular, mix it through, fill it to the top, another handful of granular, mix it through. When I plant, it'll get watered in with a water-soluble fish emulsion, something organic. That will set your container up. And in that pile, I used maybe 1/3 of the compost, that much peat moss, and some of the leaf grow. And the whole goal is to really get something that crumbles apart. If it's not how you like, just add a little more of those amendments and you'll have a great mix. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please check out my seed shop at therustedgarden.com, and you don't have to keep spending money on container mix. Just refresh it and you're good to go.